Hi, Ollie and I are here today to talk about dating and your teen. And this can be such a fun time for everyone involved, or cannot be fun. So, we had a few trial and error experiences in the beginning when our older boys were young or younger. And so, I want to talk to you about some things that we learned and some policies that we established for moving forward. And Ollie's just here because he agrees with me. So, hi, I'm Melanie from Parenting High Schoolers. And again, today I'm going to talk about dating. So, I have boys, and the policies might be different if you have a girl, but I can't imagine that they would be super different because here's what we learned. So, in the beginning, when our boys started seeing, dating, whatever you want to call it, other people, the one of the first rules was obviously that a parent has to be home wherever the kids were. So if they were here, we had to be home, or an adult had to be here, and vice versa. And so in order for that to happen, you have to communicate with that other family. And at first, my boys were super embarrassed, but listen, I didn't want to be a grandma, and I'm not dumb. Don't let yourself think that just because you've had kids that are really, really good, that they can't make a mistake, because they so can. So that was our first rule. The second thing we learned the hard way. So what we ended up deciding was our policy was that, no, was that the placement of the date or the time together, we needed to be 50-50, either here or at their house. So that was something that we learned after one of the girls that one of our sons dated always wanted to be at her house. And in the beginning, I sort of get that. And, obviously there are going to be seasons where more things happen maybe at her house because of different things going on. And then maybe more things happened here. But in general, the rule became, after that relationship ended, that it needed to be, or at least the attempt needed to be, to have it be 50-50, because that's not fair. Eventually, like if a girl dates a boy and they end up being super serious and possibly even married, a lot of times the girl's parents do get that benefit. But for right now, they're not getting married. They are dating, they are learning the ropes, and these boys need as much support as the girls, maybe even more. So that was kind of our rule, 50-50. If you were at her house last time, you need to be at our house in general. And that was kind of our policy. Doors are open. That is also a no-brainer. However, I have talked to so many friends and seen this happen and know that it happens, is that these young kids are together and the doors are closed. That's not happening at our house. These are conversations that I have had with the other moms of these girls in the beginning of each relationship, and just told them what our policy was. And typically I was the one that reached out, and I've prefaced the conversation by saying, listen, this is an awkward conversation, but we feel really strongly that it needs to be, if our kids are going to become friends and spend a lot of time together, I also would kind of like to know, what are your house policies? And this is what ours are. And, you can't insist, but it's also just kind of nice to be on the same page, hopefully. Pop-ins. This is something where even though the door is open, things can still happen. And so when we had a younger son that was young and his older brothers would have friends over, he would pop in. And, we always encourage them to be ready for that kind of a visit. Now it's sort of, we knocking on the wall, let them, know that we're on our way in, etc. Different activities. So it can get to be a bad habit to just have the TV on, or to just play video games, or to just sit down in whatever room they're in and watch YouTube videos. They need to be doing different things. Maybe play a game. Maybe entertain one of the siblings that lives in the house where they're spending their time. Maybe they need to have dinner or lunch or breakfast, or probably not breakfast, but, a meal with the family. This is something where, this is a really good way for you and any other adult or sibling to get to know this person that your child is dating. Another thing that we felt very strongly about too is that after the first couple relationships, when our one son was dating, was they were together all the time. And we really felt like it was too much. And we decided, well, hello, we're in charge of that. So we made the policy for dating that in general, because they were young and they had other things they needed to be doing, like a job or to spend time with friends or to spend time with us as a family, that they could see each other once, maybe twice a week. And that sounds like really limiting, but if you think about all the things that teens are doing today, once or twice is really, it's a manageable amount. And here's a couple reasons why. First of all, they do need to have friends and they possibly have a job and they need to get good grades. So if they're together all the time, this prohibits these other things from happening. Another thing is when they're together all the time, they get tired of each other. They start to rub each other the wrong way. They irritate each other. So when you're only together once or twice a week, the relationship stays young. It stays exciting. It stays something that they are looking forward to. And they are much more planful when they know they just have these 1 or 2 times a week together. Sometimes it's more than that. There may be, a big football game and they want to be there together. I mean, there's always going to be exceptions to many of these rules. But in general, once or twice a week is more than enough for them to be together and get their other things done and be able to maintain their friendships. And I know the 2 of our boys that have dated the most have really ended up being such good friends with the girls that they're with. They can do things either with their friends, with the girl they're dating, or not. So this, I think, keeps things just on a healthy level, that they're not spending too much time together. And finally, one of the things that we have really stressed is that not to text important information. Now, obviously making plans, that's important, but that's not important information. What I'm talking about is relationship information. Do not let your kids text someone to break up or to break plans. Things that are negative need to be done in person or on the phone. And this is super awkward and hard, and my kids have hated this. A breakup needs to be done in person, no matter what. And changing plans, things that are going to affect the other person in a way that is negative, as much as possible, that needs to be done either in person or at least on a phone call or FaceTime. Because texting can be really misinterpreted and can not convey the actual message. So one thing I encourage your teens to do is to talk, to really have a relationship with whoever they're dating, whether it's heterogeneous or not. Any type of relationship, talking is key. I stress talking with your teen. And I feel like we need to set good examples in our relationships. And no matter who our kids are dating, we need to be supportive of them. And we need to let them know that they never should tell someone something negative on a text. So these are all of my policies, or our policies, that we have come up with through the years. We've had someone dating in this house for many, many years. I would have to do the math to figure it out. But it is such a big part of our teenagers' lives, and it can be fun and it can be a positive experience. There's always going to be breakups, and they are hard, and you need to be there for your kid. Don't badmouth a former person that your child dated. Don't let them. They just need to know that, people grow apart and that things change. And the more mature you are able to encourage them to be, the more encouragement, the more positive they'll be about it as well. It is horrible, and that's another conversation for another day. But have fun when your kids are dating. Get to know that other person that they like and learn the things that they like to do that are fun together, and really encourage these relationships, because this is how our kids learn what they want out of life with a partner, whoever that may be. So give me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel, and I'll come back another day and we can talk about breakups. Thanks a lot. Bye.